We're about to begin today's Tao Daily Tarot reading. But let me give you a heads up before we get there. These three cards are really the storyline. And the storyline basically falls into the category of the never ending story. And what's the never ending story? These two cards say it all. Details coming up in just a moment. Well, hello and welcome to this latest edition of the Tao Daily Tarot. Whether you're someone who has been tuning in off and on now for the past couple of months, thank you so much for your continued support. Appreciate it. And if you're somebody new to the channel, again, I appreciate it. I ask one thing, that you like, subscribe, and share, because those are the algorithmic things that YouTube looks to be able to support this channel, and I could use your help definitely. Now, what separates this tarot reading from any others? First of all, I do archetypal readings. I take the images on the cards and I try not to add anything to them. Now, as we spread the 8 spread card, because that's what I use, Tao is very simple. It's the path. And so an 8 card spread is more than sufficient to be able to do what I call your energetic weather report. What do I mean by that? Well, I pay attention to the energies of coming, going, pushing, pulling. Stop and think about that for a minute. In the course of your day-to-day life, what's coming into your life? What's going out of your life? What's pushing you? What's pulling you? All of these energies. And then I put them into a cohesive storyline. You fit them to your life, not the other way around. Very often in tarot readings, they'll tell you what's coming to you, what's happening to you. I don't do that. Here are the energies. It's, as I said, it's an energetic weather report. How are you going to dress for this energetic weather that's in your life? You make that decision. Of course, I also do the hyper shuffle, and I try to get this into about a 10-minute package or less, because you're a busy person. You have a lot of things to get to. And if you're 8 or 9, 10-minute reading, you can squeeze that into your life. And so I try to fit into your lifestyle with this energetic weather report known as the Tao Daily Tarot. Alrighty, so let's get to the thing I referred to just a moment ago. It is the hyper shuffle. What's that? Well, if you're new, you're going to find out. And there you go. That's the hyper shuffle. Let's get to today's reading, the Tao Daily Tarot reading. We begin, as I always do, with the temperature card, I call it. Yeah. And today it is the never-ending story. You see that 37 up there, up in the corner? 3 and 7 equals 10, which equals 1. So the never-ending story may, in your life, be beginning to take a shift. Yeah. I don't know if it's showed up just yet. We're into a Mercury retrograde period for almost all of February, and we're beginning it within a day or two of this reading. So we're already beginning to feel the effects of the Mercury retrograde. And so I am thinking this would be a great time for you to begin to look at that never-ending story, see where you would like to make changes or adjustments. Because this is a rather interesting story. This has to do with love. It could be a relationship that you are restarting, or you're making a choice about. Now, if it is a love relationship, I guess you got to call it a soulmate kind of a situation. 2 of Cups is that kind of situation. But originally, the 2 of Cups stood for the choice. So it may be a choice between who or what you love. And that may be the never-ending story. That may be where you're going, okay, we need to start a new chapter. We need to start a new section in my book of life. What's my choice? What's my decision? Well, certainly love is the guiding factor, whether it is a person or a situation that you would know better. But I gotta say, it's something from your past, because we got the 6 of Cups. Something or somebody from your past. Either somebody is coming back to you, which could happen, by the way, in a Mercury retrograde. That often happens, where people from your past or incidents from your past resurface, hence the idea of the retrograde. And so it means that you have to make a choice. Do I bring that person or that situation along? Do I change it? What do I do? There's the choice. But it is all about something or someone you love. Now it gets a little bit complicated because right now we have the King of Swords. And this is in the area of pushing and pulling. So the King of Swords, very good at being very decisive, but not very emotional. And therein lies the problem. When we're talking about emotion, the last couple of cards are the Two of Cups, the Six of Cups, and then the King shows up. That means you got to make a decision, and you have to make it head over heart. That makes it tricky because, well, first of all, we're in a Mercury retrograde, so be careful about making decisions, but it's a great time to gather information. But what makes it particularly difficult this time around is that we're looking at the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles talks about not having. Not having. I mean, you can see these two people walking in the snow, passing by, I guess it's kind of a church, and you got the Five of Pentacles lit up there. Maybe they could find their Five of Pentacles inside the church, but they choose not to. Or they feel they can't. So Five of Pentacles emphasizes lack. And yes, it could be money because pentacles are material things. But it could also be love. Anything that you value, you are now feeling kind of separated from. Or that at least it seems impossible to be able to reach the never-ending story, right? And making it a little more complicated is, again, we go back to this decision, the Two of Swords, head over heart. You are in this never-ending story. My gut tells me you are writing a new chapter or getting ready to write a new chapter. But it's a chapter where you have to make a decision about someone or something that you love, and it has to be a head over heart decision. Very, very, very difficult. But you got to make the decision. And emphasizing that whole concept, again, we have showing up in a different deck of cards, Five of Pentacles. So again, you are feeling left out of something that you value. You are being kept away from something that is important to you. It can be a love relationship, it can be money, it can be a sense of purpose, any number of things that are important to you. You can't make that connection. It is lacking in your life. So, when I was doing the pre-shuffle, I ran across the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords will bring in information to you and then take a leave quickly, if you will. Alrighty, so it's this little spontaneous kind of little bit of information. But when I did, as you saw, the shuffle, coming up was the Emperor, right? Or the Hierophant, I believe. Yeah, there you go. I get those two confused sometimes. The Hierophant. And the Hierophant talks about the status quo. Okay, it talks about everything from government to religion. They follow the status quo, follow the status quo, follow the status quo, because that has gotten us where we are. And so there's that sense of reverence, there's that sense of tradition. And it's funny because as I look at this whole thing here, that may be the never-ending story, that we follow tradition, we follow the rules. Or do we? If we're going to write a new chapter in our life story, and it's a never-ending story, that's the decision. Head over heart. Which way do I go on this? Which way do I choose to continue that never-ending story? And I'm thinking the Mercury retrograde, this 3 or 4 weeks coming up here, I think this will be very important in terms of helping to determine that. And by the time we get into March and April, I think things will have sifted them out a little bit better than they are. But that's the story for today, the daily tarot reading, the Tao Daily Tarot. Thank you very much for joining me again. Remember, like, subscribe, and share. Very important for the folks at YouTube. For the rest of your day today and tomorrow, blessings.